Currently, I am at a supercharger, so I figured this would be a really good time to, well, it's 7 a.m., so maybe not the best time, to kind of go through a few things with you guys and talk to you guys about what is some of the key things you should kind of pay attention to if you ordered a car or if you just got your car. Some of the key things that are very, very important, and we're going to just jump right into this, is understanding that you're going to need a little bit of time to adjust, and you're going to need a little bit of time to kind of figure out, kind of get your bearings around the car. This is not, Teslas are not your typical types of vehicles. They're not the ones you are, traditionally used to. So if you go to the dealerships, you test drive the car and blah, blah, blah. And we all know, we've been through that, so I don't have to explain that to you guys. The important thing, I think, for everybody to understand is it's your mindset, right? When you first get into the car, the first day you get it, or if you already received it, try and understand every little aspect of the car. There's a lot to discover. There's a lot for you guys to look at. And it's really important to kind of get through that phase, through trying to figure out, okay, what is the car doing at certain times when you're driving it. But before you even start driving the car, for some of you, I know if you already picked it up, you've driven it, but one of the key things that I say to everybody is take your time with the car and understand some of the key features of it. Go into your settings. It's really, really, really important that you all go into your settings and try and understand what each setting does, right? Best way for me to explain that to you is the little car icon. When it comes to menus, it's very important to understand that that car right there, that is your general controls for many, many things. So if you click on that car, you get a screen showing up. It's either going to be like this or a little bit different depending on which model you have. Here you have controls pretty much for everything you need. You have controls for your suspension, which is, some people have it, some people don't, again, depending on which model you have. Your lights, what type of, how you want your headlights set up, how do you want your dome lights set up, ambient lighting, your driving. This is very important to know. Try and leave this on standard, and regenerative braking, always leave it on standard. I would not recommend using creep mode, slip mode, or range mode. I would highly recommend those to stay off. If you have autopilot, obviously everybody has different systems. There's obviously things that you have to kind of look at, which options you have. But once again, get in there. Your vehicle, when you're in the vehicle options, my apologies for the sun. When you are in the vehicle options, you can kind of look at all the details here. So I have, for example, my mirror to be tilted in and having it auto folded. When I leave the car, for the notifications on my thing, if I just forget my doors open, it's going to tell me because I only put it to doors. I can put this to doors and windows, but you don't need to go to that extent. Under display, you have, again, a ton of options. What I think is very important for everybody to pay attention to is understanding how your vehicle acts. And if you understand all of these things, it's going to be much more intuitive because you get all the information that you need at your fingertips. One thing I do highly recommend to everybody is, obviously depending on where you are, here in Canada we use kilometers and Celsius. So you can pay attention to that, but more often than not, they already took care of that at the dealership for you. Obviously, when it comes to time, it's which one you want, 12-hour or 24-hour system. But I highly recommend putting your vehicle on percentage. The percentage is very, very important, in my opinion. Although everybody would like to go for distance, get used to percentage. This is why it's so important, because your vehicle should stay between 20 and 90%. This vehicle currently, right now as I'm charging, as you can see, I have it set to trip. This is very important to understand. So if you are going on a longer trip, sure, you can max this out. But if you're not, put it down to basically just keep it in that area. How to do that, by the way, is very simple. You go over here, you say set limit. Once you push on that, you have access to this bar and you're done. There you go. Honestly, out here, YouTubers, we make videos for you guys to kind of understand how you can take the best experience out of things. Hey guys, excuse the interruption of the video. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing so far. That being said, it's really important for us to kind of let you guys know that there is a subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button if you guys like what you're seeing so far. That notification bell is going to allow you to basically know whenever I'm uploading future videos. Your support really means everything because, well, that's how YouTubers grow. That's how YouTubers are able to bring you just more and more content. If you like this video, chances are your friends will love it too. So consider sharing the video. Most importantly, comment on the video. Every time you leave a comment, I know what I'm doing right. I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what you guys are curious about. And I make all of my videos based on that particular I guess, ideology. So yeah, definitely really important. That being said, I also have other channels. In the description of this video, you'll find a few links. Each link has a little description of what those channels are all about, just in case you might like, well, different topics to explore. That being said, thank you so much for your support. Without you guys, we are nothing. So let's get back to the show now. I understand there's a lot of things on YouTube, and I know that there's a lot of overwhelming information because there's so much about these cars that you really can learn. My number one most important thing I think that you guys need to do is explore your car and take your time with it. Get into those menus, see what everything does. If you don't understand it, figure it out, and do all that preferably before you really start taking crazy trips, before you really start pushing the car and having fun with it. Which leads me to the next aspect of this, and that is driving your car. Now, for those of you who are new to these cars, big things that you guys need to understand. These cars are fast. They're not like your traditional Hondas and Toyotas or whatever you may have been driving. That's not what these cars are. These cars are insane. There's a lot of power being given to you instantaneously. It's something that especially for seasoned drivers who are not used to that, muscle memory kind of almost waits for that little lag. That's what traditional vehicles give you. There's just a little bit of a lag until the engine does what it does. Engine, transmission, everything kind of works together. With electric cars, especially with Teslas, they are instant. So the second you touch the pedal, they fly. And this is very important for you to understand this, because when you first start driving it, you might run into a problem where maybe you're in traffic and you're kind of pushing it out, you give a little bit of a press to that pedal considering what you're kind of used to, and you might end up in a few problems. Go out and drive your car. Now, I know it sounds silly, but try and drive your car alone first. Take your friends out later, your family, show off the car later. I know you're going to show it off. I know about this. You've been on YouTube, you've been on forums, you've been on Facebook, you've been on social media looking up the car because of all the excitement that you bought a Tesla. But that being said, take the car out. Take the car out, go for a drive, kind of get a feel for the car, what the car is doing, how the car is. And once you have an idea what the car does, then by all means, take your friends out, take your family out and show it off. Because you know what? You're proud of your car, and I'm okay with that. I love that. It's good to be proud of your car, but it's not good to kind of, I guess, force the issue. The next thing I want you to kind of do is go out and get to a supercharger. Now, this is a urban charger. I need you guys to understand the difference. So this one has a 72 kilowatt charging capacity, at least for the time being. What that means is your car is not going to be charging at a ridiculous rate. It's only going to be charging at 72 kilowatts. I prefer these just because it gives me a chance to sit in my car, go through some of the options, see what I have in my car, what I don't have. A lot of you will not really necessarily understand how the premium connectivity works. I'm going to get into that a little bit, just give me a couple of minutes. But so there's a few things when you go to your first supercharger. By the way, if you guys want to, for a lot of you out there, you don't know that you can get 1,500 free kilometers of, well, free kilometers because I'm in Canada, 1,500 free kilometers because let's say you use a referral link. If you do that, then you basically get that first 1,500 where you don't pay for the charging. And I recommend, finding a friend, finding a Tesla buddy or whoever, ask me, I'll give it to you. And getting a referral link gives you that free supercharging. Essentially, for your first 1,500 kilometers, you are not paying to drive at all. And that's really where you should be taking advantage of that. Take advantage of that first 1,500. Go on a little bit of a road trip. Just kind of get a feel for the car, how she is on the highways, how she is on in the city streets, and get a real good sense of what the car does. And so I do highly recommend going down that path. One of the most weird things that I see with a lot of people is they don't understand how the charging system works and how range works. So let's break this down really, really quickly. This is kind of it's not a detailed breakdown, but let me put it this way. The first few months, at the very least, I would say don't worry about the range. Just drive the car, get used to the car. The cars obviously are severely affected by how much of a heavy foot you have. So the crazier you drive, the more energy you suck, hence you pretty much have a lot less range overall, right? So think of it like that. The more you're playing, the more energy the car uses. When you start kind of calming down and getting, you know your car and you drive normal, I guess, you're gonna notice your range going back up because you're no longer using up the power consistently just to mess around. So don't worry about range, not for probably the first 6 months. If you're the calm type of driver, which even if you are, it doesn't really matter because these cars are just way too much fun. I know people who are ridiculously calm drivers. They are what a lot of people in the car community call granny drivers. And they never sped up. They never, went over the limit. They never did any of that kind of stuff. They get into a Tesla. It's just so much fun. The car is so exciting. You kind of want to do it, so you end up doing it. And that's why I say to everybody, don't worry about range. Forget about range 3 to 6 months. Once you get a hang of the car, you're going to be fine. The next thing I'm going to tell you is really, really important, and that is understand that with Teslas, there's something called regenerative braking. Now, this applies to most EVs as well. So when you first get into the car and you start driving, you notice that when you take your foot off the gas, right, the accelerator, your vehicle is going to start slowing down, right? This is very important to note because basically it just means you're going to be using your brakes less. This is why on Teslas it takes forever until we have to actually change the brakes. But you kind of learn to adapt to that. This is what, again, it goes back to that first 1,500 kilometers, the first 3 months, 6 months. Really pay attention to the little details. You're more than welcome to ask me, by the way, any questions you guys have on anything in the comment section, and I'll try and answer or make a video on that particular topic. But regenerative braking is a wonderful thing. It's basically one pedal driving. You're pushing down on the accelerator, the car goes, you're taking off the accelerator, the car really starts to slow down. In fact, it's braking, but while it's braking, it's regenerating power and putting it back into your battery. Very little, don't get excited. Okay, that being said, let's talk about connectivity for a sec. It's really important to know that when you're talking about connectivity, the premium connectivity that gives you access to things such as obviously Netflix, YouTube, all that stuff. You think you may not need it. Trust me, you're gonna love it once you have it. So I highly, highly recommend it. Here in Canada, I think it's something like $15 a month. I don't quote me on it. Unfortunately, I have free connectivity. The way I bought my car, I have free connectivity and free charging for life. That option no longer exists, so don't ask me about it. Next thing would be autopilot. Autopilot, the basic autopilot, which is basically cruise control on steroids. So cruise control, use it. Try and understand how it works, and don't be worried, don't be scared. The car will take the turns for you. It's going to follow the road, I should say. It will slow down for traffic. That being said, please understand, like anything in this world, when you are behind the wheel, you are the driver. Pay 100% attention to everything you do because, frankly, it's not just you out there. There's a lot of us out there, and kids and so many things out there. So pay attention, be the best driver you can be. Connectivity is going to be important for you overall, just for the way your maps show up. So when you look at your maps, you're going to see a lot of different cool stuff on your maps. When you see all the lines, I highly recommend you guys just pay for the connectivity. It is really, really worth it. Before you guys even ask me in the comment section, I do want to cover, there will be a subscription for FSD. For those of you who didn't buy the $10,000+ option, at least that's what the price is now. For those of you who didn't buy that, that will be eventually a subscription option. Here in Canada, I believe it's going to be something like $200 plus taxes, but that's going to give you access to, Summon, where you can pull your car in and out and do all that crazy stuff, and basically just drive hands-free on a highway. There's a lot more complexity in it. I can cover that. Once again, ask me in the comment section if you guys want to see videos on that specifically. But overall, key things to remember, and again, really important: enjoy the car, understand everything that's on your screen, understand how everything works. Here comes my favorite part that I think everybody kind of messes up. Set up your profile. It's extremely important, especially if you're not the only one driving the car. Set up your profile. Make sure that your profile is, when you're setting up your profile, you're adjusting on your mirrors to everything that you like. And by the way, don't worry too much about it, because let's say you set up your profile right now, but you decide to change the position of the seat. As soon as you change it, there's going to be a little thing that pops up on the screen right under your profile where it says save. Basically, that means you just decide to readjust the seating a little bit. So now you're saving it to your profile under the new settings. That's really, really what it is. It's very simple, very straightforward. Once again, you guys want to see a short video on that? Let me know in the comment section. That all being said, congratulations to everybody who is buying currently a Tesla. If you just got it, awesome. You're going to have a ton of fun with it. If you are waiting for your car, I know how it is to wait for any car. But when it comes to Teslas, I know it's a tough wait. Trust me, you're going to be very, very happy when you get it. I do want to point out that when you go to pick up your vehicle for the first time, if you haven't yet picked it up, make sure you look around at any possible deficiency on the vehicle. Tesla is very good at fixing all these things for you guys. Nothing's ever perfect. So make sure that you look around and ask questions. But aside from that, honestly, just have fun with the car. Once again, please remember, try and take it out yourself first. Try and get a feel for the car. Try and go through everything on the screen. Sit back. For your first time, go to a supercharger, which reminds me, the white with the red, like you see here, this right here is a urban charger. The superchargers are the big red ones. As for how you're going to do that, really, really easy. It's on your screen. For those of you guys who are wondering how to get to your charge, right here is what you're looking for. When you push this button, you're going to have a screen come up. Obviously, it's going to be the same on your screen. This is a different model from yours probably, if you don't have a Model S or X. Once that comes up, make sure this is not checked. It's just the second and third option is checked. And then it gives you all the options, how far it is from where you are. And it's very good. If I want to, right now, obviously it says 0.0 kilometers because I am right here. The number there shows you how many stalls are available at that particular charging station. If this, let's say, had none, my obvious option would be to go to the second option, which is right here. That's only 6.2 kilometers away, and it does have 10 chargers. It's really important to note that your 72 kilowatt max right there, that basically tells you the charging speed that it's going to be maxed out at. Obviously, if you look underneath it, it says 250 kilowatt max. That's basically the supercharger. So anything that you see 72 is going to be an urban charger. Anything else that you see 250, 150, those are superchargers. All that means is if you go to this one, it's going to be a lot faster charge. This will give you more time to sit back and chill out and understand your vehicle. Make sure that you go to the supercharger, go through the process, figure out all the details, and you're going to have a ton of fun. When you're at the supercharger and you're charging, that's the best time to talk to other Tesla owners. And I know I spend a great deal of time helping out other drivers, especially new drivers. Talk to the other owners, especially for your model vehicle. If you bought a Model 3, congratulations. Talk to a Model 3 owner, and they'll be able to help you out with quite a few things. If not, once again, leave me a message, leave me a comment, and I'll try and help you out as much as I can. I am located here in Vancouver, British Columbia. So if you are local to Vancouver, British Columbia, you can always leave me a message on my Instagram account. I more often than not can tell you when I'm going to a supercharger and we can meet up. I can help you set up everything for you. It's not a big deal. It's a lot of fun. That being said, if you are local to the Vancouver area, the greater Vancouver area where I live, all of you new owners, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to sit down, have an interview with you, kind of showcase your car, talk about what you found interesting, what you found good, what you found bad, and let's help out the next, I guess the next generation of people coming in to buy these cars. You know what? Everybody needs a little bit of help. These are very unique vehicles. So let's kind of help everybody out. So if you guys are interested in doing an interview with me, I'll get in touch with me. It's really easy because you can use summontesla@gmail.com and just get in touch with me. We'll set up something on a weekend or, some day in the afternoon. We'll sit down, we'll talk, and let's help out everyone else. If you had any issues with your car, with picking up the car, with understanding the systems, this is why I do what I do here. So let's all work together. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. That being said, please everybody, enjoy your car, but drive safe. It's very important. Safety should always be your first thought. Catch you on the next one. Bye.